Hello and welcome to English Unleashed. My name is Harris. I'm very happy you are here. Thank you for joining me today. I want to talk to you about something important. It is about being shy. Many people feel shy. I felt shy too. I know how it feels. Maybe you want to speak, but you cannot. Your heart beats fast. Your hands feel cold. Your face feels hot. You want to talk, but no words come out. You look down. You say nothing. People talk around you, but you stay quiet. You smile a little. You nod, but you say nothing. That was me. That was Harris. I want to tell you my story. Maybe it can help you. Maybe you can feel better. Maybe you can learn something. When I was a child, I was always quiet. I was the quiet boy in the back. I listened, but I didn't talk. I wanted to say hello. I wanted to play, but I just stayed in my seat. Other kids laughed and talked. I watched them. I said nothing. My teacher called my name. I felt scared. My voice was soft. I said just one or two words. People thought I was strange. They thought I didn't like them. But I liked people. I just didn't know how to talk. I was shy. I was scared. That is how it started. And it stayed that way for many years. In high school, it was the same. I sat in the back. I didn't raise my hand. I didn't talk to new people. I had one friend. Just one. We walked together. We ate together. I didn't try to meet new people. I felt too nervous. I thought people would laugh. I thought they would think I was weird. I thought they would not like me. So I stayed quiet. I thought being shy was just part of me. I thought I could never change. But I was wrong. One day something small happened. But it changed my life. I will tell you now. It was a normal day. I went to class. I sat in the back. I looked at my book. Then a girl sat next to me. Her name was Sana. She smiled and said, "Hi." I was surprised. I didn't know what to say. But I said, "Hi." She asked, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine." That's all. Just 2 words. But she smiled again. She said, "That's good." Then she talked about the weather. She said it was hot. I nodded. She laughed a little. She said, "You are very quiet." I said, "Yes." Then she said something that stayed in my heart. She said, "It's okay to be quiet, but don't be afraid to talk. Your voice matters." I didn't know why, but those words felt warm. I didn't talk much that day, but I felt a little light in my heart. I felt maybe I can try. Maybe I can say one more word. That night, I thought about it. I thought maybe I don't have to be so scared. Maybe I can try to speak. One step at a time, just one word, then 2, then a sentence. That was my new idea, a small idea, but a strong one. The next day, I said hi to Sana first. She smiled again. She said, "Hi, Harris." That made me smile too. I felt good. It was a small thing, but it felt big. It felt like opening a door to a new world. After that, I tried to speak more, just a little each day. I said hello to my teacher. I said thank you when someone helped me. I asked, "What page are we on?" in class. These were small words, but for me, they were big steps. I felt like I was learning to walk again. My voice felt new. My mouth felt strange, but I kept trying. Some days were hard. Some days I stayed quiet, but I didn't stop. I kept going, slowly, step by step, word by word. I still felt shy, but I didn't run away. That was my new power. I didn't give up. Over time, something changed. My voice grew stronger. I could say longer sentences. I could ask questions. I could answer questions. I started to talk to more people, not just Sana. I said hello to classmates. I talked to the shopkeeper. I talked to my neighbors. I smiled more. I felt more free. One day, my teacher asked me to share my opinion. My heart jumped, but I said, yes. I stood up. I spoke for 1 minute, just 1 minute, but everyone listened. They clapped when I finished. That moment is in my heart forever. It was the first time I felt brave. I felt strong. I felt like I had something to say, and people wanted to hear it. That was the beginning of my new life. A life with more words. A life with more connection. A life with more joy. And now, I want to help you. I want to tell you, it's okay to be shy. You don't have to change in one day. You don't have to talk all the time. But don't let fear stop you. Your voice is special. Your words matter. Start small. Say one word. Say hi, say thank you, say how are you. That is enough. Say it again tomorrow. Then say a little more. It gets easier. It gets better. Don't be afraid of mistakes. We all make them. I made many. I said wrong words. I forgot words. I felt silly. But I kept going, and I got better. So will you. Step by step, word by word. You will grow. You will feel more free. One day you will look back. You will see how far you came. You will be proud. Just like I am now. I'm still Harris. I'm still quiet. But I'm not afraid to talk. And that changed everything. After that day in class, I started to believe in myself more. I still felt shy sometimes. I still felt nervous before speaking. But I did not let that stop me. I told myself, Harris, you are growing. That sentence helped me every day. I wrote it on a small paper. I put it in my notebook. Every time I opened the book, I saw it. It gave me hope. I knew I was not perfect. I still said too much. I still forgot words, but I was not quiet anymore. I was trying, and trying is the key. When I walked into a room, I looked up. I smiled. I said hello. I asked people how they were. These things felt small, but they were big to me. Before I walked with my head down, I looked at my shoes. Now I looked at people's eyes. I felt a little stronger. That feeling helped me keep going. One day, Sana said to me, Harris, you're different now. You speak more. I'm proud of you. I smiled. I said, thank you, Sana. You helped me start." She laughed and said, "You did the work. I just said hello." That made me think. Sometimes one small word can change someone's life. A smile, a hello, a kind voice. It's not hard to say, but it's very powerful. I started to do the same. When I saw someone alone, I said hello. When someone looked scared, I smiled. I said, "It's okay." I was shy too. I wanted to help others like Sana helped me. And I did. I made new friends. I helped new students feel welcome. I became someone who talked. Not all the time, but when I needed to. And that was enough. I joined a small group after school. It was a reading group. We read simple books and talked about them. At first, I was nervous. I thought, what if I say something wrong? But then I remembered my new rule: try anyway. So I joined. I listened. Then I said a few words. Then I said a few more. By the third week, I was speaking like everyone else. One girl in the group was very quiet. Her name was Aisha. She sat alone. I smiled at her. I said, "I was like you. It's okay. You can talk when you are ready." Her eyes were big. She smiled. She nodded. The next week, she spoke, just a little. But I saw her face light up. I knew that feeling. I had felt it too. And now she felt it. It felt like magic. Not big magic, but soft magic. Quiet magic. The magic of trying. The magic of words. This gave me a new idea. I wanted to help more people. I wanted to share my story. So I started writing. I wrote about my fear. I wrote about my silence. I wrote about my first hello. I wrote about Sana. I wrote about my first 1-minute talk. I wrote about helping Aisha. I shared my story with my teacher. She said, "Harris, you should read this to the class." I felt scared, but I also felt ready. I said, "Okay." The next day, I stood in front of the class. My hands were cold. My heart was fast, but I held the paper. I looked at my friends. I took a breath, and I read. I read every word. I read slowly. I read clearly. When I finished, the room was quiet. Then everyone clapped. I looked at Sana. She gave me a thumbs up. My teacher smiled. I smiled too. That was the best moment of my school life. Not because I was perfect, not because I was loud, but because I shared my voice. I shared my story. I was not afraid anymore. I wanted to help more people. I wanted to tell them that shyness is not a wall. It is a door, and you can open it, one small word at a time. That became my message. I told it to my younger cousin. I told it to a boy at the park. I told it to a girl on the bus. I told them, start small. Say hello. Say thank you. Say good job. That is how you begin. I started to believe something very simple. Everyone is shy sometimes. That is okay. Shy is not bad. Shy means you feel deeply. Shy means you care. But shy should not stop you. You can be shy and still talk. You can be shy and still lead. You can be shy and still shine. That is what I learned. And that is what I teach now. I talk to new students in school. I say, I was shy too. Look at me now. You can do it. And they believe me, because they can see I mean it. I speak slowly. I speak gently, but I speak. I don't hide. That is the change. I no longer hide. I show up. I use my voice. I don't wait to feel ready. I just begin. I make mistakes, but I don't stop. That is how I grew. That is how I keep growing. So if you are listening now and you feel shy, I want to tell you, it's okay. You are not broken. You are not weak. You just need time. You just need kindness. You just need to believe in small steps. Say one word today. Say two tomorrow. In 1 week, say a sentence. In 1 month, say a story. And one day, someone will listen to you and say, "Wow, you talk so well." And you will smile and say, "Yes, I used to be shy." That will be a good day. That day is coming. Just keep going. Keep trying. Keep speaking. After that talk in class, my confidence grew more and more. I started to speak not only in class, but in other places too. At the library, I asked the man, "Do you have books about space?" He smiled and said, "Yes, come with me." That small talk made me feel happy. At the bakery, I said, "1 bread, please." The lady smiled and said, "Here you go." These small talks became part of my daily life. I didn't say a lot, but I said something. And that something made me feel like I belonged. I was no longer just a quiet face. I had a voice. I used it. Not loudly, not all the time, but enough. Enough to connect. Enough to feel human. I also started helping others in class. If someone looked lost, I said, "Do you need help?" If someone dropped a pencil, I picked it up and said, "Here." These small acts opened doors. People talked to me more, they smiled, they asked questions, and I answered. Step by step, I became part of the group. Before, I felt like I was behind a glass wall. I could see people, I could hear them, but I could not touch them. Now the wall was gone. There was no big moment when it broke. It just faded away slowly with every word I spoke. Sometimes I still felt shy, at big events or with new people. But I didn't run, I stayed, I listened. And when the time felt right, I said something. Even one sentence. Even just, "Hi, I'm Harris." That was enough. I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to be present. One day, a teacher said to me, "Harris, would you like to join the speaking club?" I froze for a second. Speaking club? That sounded scary. But then I thought, maybe this is the next step. I smiled and said, "Okay, I'll try." The first day was hard. Everyone spoke so well. Their words were clear and fast. I wanted to leave, but I stayed. I watched. I listened. Then the leader said, "Who wants to share something today?" My heart jumped. My hands shook, but I raised my hand. I said, "I want to try." I stood up. I said, "My name is Harris. I used to be very shy, but now I am learning to speak." That was all, just those words. But everyone clapped. They smiled at me. One boy said, "That was brave." I felt proud, not because I said something big, but because I stood up and spoke. That was the moment I knew I didn't have to be the quiet one anymore. I could be the one who tries. I kept going to that club. Every week, I shared one small story about my day, about my thoughts, about my past. Each time, I felt a little more free. I made new friends there, friends who listened, friends who encouraged me. One day, I met a boy named Sammy. He was just like I was before. He sat in the back. He looked down, he didn't talk. I sat next to him. I said, "Hi, I'm Harris. I used to be shy too." He looked at me. Then he looked away. But the next week, he sat beside me again. I smiled. I said, "Glad you came back." Slowly, he started to talk. First a few words, then a few more. After 1 month, he stood and spoke for 1 minute. After, he came to me and said, "Thank you." I smiled. I said, "You did it yourself." But in my heart, I felt joy. I saw my old self in him, and I saw his courage too. Helping him helped me. It reminded me why I keep talking, not for attention, not to be popular, but to grow, to connect, to help others rise too. That's what speaking really is. It's connection, and connection is life. Shyness is not the end. It's just the beginning. It's the start of a new path. A slow path, yes, but a strong one. With each word, you grow. With each sentence, you move forward. I wish someone told me this when I was younger, but now I can tell you, and that makes it worth it. Every hard moment, every nervous breath, every fast heartbeat. It's all worth it if I can help even one person feel a little more brave. I used to think shyness was my weakness, but now I know it was my training. It made me quiet enough to listen. It made me gentle enough to care. It made me kind enough to understand. And now, I use that to speak. Not to be loud, but to be real. To be kind. To be helpful. My voice does not shout, but it does reach people. And that is powerful. So if you are shy, hear me now. You are not broken. You are building. You are not small. You are just starting. And starting is enough. Say one word. Say one sentence. Look up. Smile. Try again. If you feel scared, it's okay. Speak anyway. If your voice shakes, it's okay. Speak anyway. If your hands sweat, it's okay. Speak anyway, because every time you speak, you break the fear. Just a little, just enough. And over time, the fear gets smaller, and you get bigger, not outside, but inside. In your heart, in your courage, in your belief. That is how I changed. That is how you can change too. Now when I walk into a room, I do not hide. I take a breath. I look around. I say hello. My heart still beats fast sometimes. But I smile anyway. I talk anyway. I have learned that courage is not about being perfect. Courage is about trying, even when you feel nervous. It's about standing up, even when your legs feel weak. It's about saying something, even if your voice shakes. Now I help in the speaking club. I help new students feel welcome. I teach them to breathe. I tell them to smile. I tell them my story. I say, "It's okay. I was just like you." And they listen. And they believe me. Because it's true. I am not special. I just didn't give up. That is what makes the change. Not talent, not big words, just not giving up. Just trying again. One student asked me, "Harris, how do you speak so easily now?" I smiled and said, "I don't. I just don't let fear stop me." I think that is the answer. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to be perfect. Just begin. Begin with what you have. Begin with where you are. Begin now. That's what I did. That's what you can do too. I remember the first time I joined a group of friends. They were laughing and talking. I stood nearby. I wanted to join. But my feet did not move. My mouth did not open. I thought about going away, but I stayed. I said, "Hi, can I sit here?" They looked at me. One said, "Of course." I sat down. My heart was fast, but I stayed. I listened. I laughed a little. I said one or two things, and they smiled. They talked to me. I felt warm. I felt welcome. That was a big day for me. A normal day for others, but a big day for me. I wrote it in my notebook that night. I wrote, "Today I joined a group." I said hi. They said yes. I was scared, but I did it. That line made me cry, not because I was sad, but because I was proud. It was proof that I was changing, slowly, quietly, but truly. Now I write many things in my notebook. I write every step, every word, every try, even the bad days, because there are still hard days. Sometimes I feel small again. Sometimes I feel shy again. But now I know the way forward. I know how to take one step. I know how to say one word. I remember all the times I was brave. I remember Sana. I remember the first time I said hi. I remember my 1-minute talk. I remember helping Aisha. I remember speaking at the club. I remember helping Sami. All these memories give me strength. They are like lights in my heart. They help me keep going. And I hope my story can be a light for you. You who feel shy. You who stay quiet. You who want to speak but feel afraid. I see you. I understand you. Because I was you. But you don't have to stay stuck. You can change. You can grow. You can speak. Your voice is not too small. Your words are not too simple. You don't need big grammar. You don't need perfect accent. You just need to try. You just need to care. And I know you care. That's why you are here. That's why you are reading this. That's why you are learning. So don't stop. Don't wait. Speak today. Speak a little. Say hello to someone. Say thank you. Say how are you. Say good job. Say your name. Say something. Say anything. The words will come. Slowly, but they will come. And when they come, they will carry you. They will open doors. They will build bridges. They will make friends. They will change your life, just like they changed mine. Now, when I go home and look in the mirror, I see the same face. But inside, I see a new person, a brave person, a kind person, a growing person. That is what happens when you speak. You find your voice. And when you find your voice, you find yourself. I still remember sitting in the back, afraid to talk. Now I stand in front and help others speak. This is what is possible. This is what can happen. And it can happen to you. Yes, you. You reading now, you listening now. Don't doubt yourself. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Right now, right here. This is the time to start. Say one word, then say one more. Keep going, even if it feels slow, even if it feels scary. That is okay. That is normal. That is part of the journey. But if you keep going, you will get there. And one day, someone will come to you. They will be shy. They will be quiet. And you will smile and say, "It's okay. I was like you." And you will help them begin. And your story will help them grow, just like mine helped you. And just like Sana's hello helped me. That is the power of one word. That is the power of one voice. That is the power of trying. So go ahead, try, speak, begin. Don't stop. You are not alone. I am with you. My story is with you. My voice is with you. And now your voice is ready too. Speak it, share it, live it, and never stop.